Now we down south with the Duncans in New Orleans, to be specific. The family business New Orleans is here. And what's good, y'all? It's your girl, Erica Vane, coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another family business video. But this one is about the spinoff. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down season 1, episode 1 of the family business New Orleans. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my The Family Business New Orleans content and conversations. Y'all, I'm excited. This pilot gave a ton of information. It was definitely a ton of setup for the rest of the season. We get an 8-episode season. It is currently streaming on BET Plus. The first 2 episodes are available, but then I think started next week, we'll be getting 1 episode each week. So lock in if y'all haven't renewed them BET Plus subscriptions so that we can go ahead and talk about this from week to week. Now, jumping in to this breakdown for this particular episode, we meet the main Duncan family down in New Orleans, which is Marquis, his mom Shirley Duncan, her brother Floyd, who I'm still trying to figure out because I don't read the books, y'all. I don't read the books. I'm trying to figure out, like, because it feels like Floyd is not a Duncan, but he is Shirley's brother, and they call each other bro and sis. So I'm trying to figure out, is like Shirley married into the Duncan family, and like why was she not trying to call LC? Like tons of setup, tons of setup. I'm actually living for it. And then we also got to see a bunch of Duncans that we already know and kind of love, like Curtis, Lauryn, who are sent instead of Orlando and Vegas because they are dealing with the whole junior problem up in New York. Now, I'm jumping all the way to the end because Marquis gets sent to Houston after they cannot make this body go away. John Leblanc, I think his name is Pierre Leblanc, sorry. He turns up missing after gambling at Shirley's casino, Midnight Blues. He can't stop losing. Monique is the one telling the story, and I'm just like trying to figure out who the hell Monique is and how she plays into this. I really don't believe, like, they pushing this whole story throughout the whole episode of like he killed himself outside the club. They threw him out after he started having a ruckus about losing all his damn money, but he's known to be a loser when it comes to all these casino games. So randomly when she's telling the story, while she's anxious and telling the story, right, she gets to, we hear a gunshot and we run outside and we just see him dead in a pool of blood. So the story that they are pushing is that he killed himself outside that club, but they don't want Jean LeBlanc to find out that he was at the club when he died because they don't believe that he will believe that they didn't actually do it. And y'all, quiet as kept, I don't know if I believe that either. Now we know that Marquis did not shoot the gun. We know that Shirley didn't shoot the gun. We might even know that Monique didn't shoot the gun. Cool. But the man killing himself, like, if he already is a habitual gambler and he's always coming in here losing money, it doesn't matter how much money he lost. His brother is Jean LeBlanc, who is one of the most ruthless because in New Orleans, running all of the scamming, the prostitution. Like, he's getting money. Like, when we meet him, he is snatching a little juke joint club from the ownership of that nice young old man. That don't make no sense how he killed that man's son, because the man was like, I can't even think of his name right now, y'all, and I'm so sorry, but he's like, well, he's dead now, so it ain't gonna be like he can go move forward. He's like, I'm passing my club down to my son, I'm not selling to you. Shoots the son. Sir, Jean LeBlanc, wait a minute, well, he didn't shoot him. Sia's character shoots him, because Sia's up in here. Sia's one of the Goonies. Shout out to her. I haven't seen her in quite a minute. And it's like, okay, so that's taken care of. Why don't you go ahead and sign on the dotted line before I do this to your daughter and your grandson? He signs on the dotted line. They give him the check. Then he's like, yeah, no, I can't go out like that. He turns around to try to stab Jean LeBlanc, and Jean LeBlanc puts like 3 in him. That's it. So that's who we're dealing with. Jean LeBlanc and his brother Pierre LeBlanc. I believe they said Pierre. His brother's dead. He finds out about it after Marquis takes the body of Pierre over to the swamp, has a little plan with Sheriff Clay, a little crooked ass Sheriff Clay. Child, you know I don't trust these crooked ass white women. Specifically the crooked ones, specifically the sly ones. A lot of them in the South, you gotta be careful. Then we get the little tidbit of like Marquis was her childhood crush, her high school crush. Man, this woman's gonna be trying to spin the block on you. She gonna plant something on you. Yes, you paying her $50,000 now to make this body disappear, or make half of it be eaten by gators, and then to go push this story to Jean LeBlanc about how the gators took him, even though Pierre had no reason to be at the damn swamp. because he can't swim. But this lady's gonna be trouble. And Floyd tried to warn him that the lady's trouble, and Floyd is like, I don't trust it, I don't trust it, I don't trust it. And I wanted to kind of like lean into Floyd being like my moral compass coming into this series, but then he's also in love with a voodoo priestess that put a damn chicken foot around his neck to protect him. Even though I'm not shading the hoodoo, voodoo, I don't know nothing about it. I love Jesus, but I respect it. Like, I went to school in New Orleans, y'all, so I understand certain things are unexplainable and they are very real, and I don't fool with it. So I'm not clowning the hoodoo or the voodoo. I'm just saying this ain't your girl, but you allowing her to do all this, and it does seem genuine in her trying to put this like protective spell on him, because she can see that something's coming, and clearly that is the hurricane that is going to be Jean Leblanc, trying to get answers for why his brother was eaten half up by alligators randomly. He knows that man probably knows that man got an addiction to gambling. So what the hell is he doing at the swamps? They ain't put no damn slot machines at the swamps, you know? Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. I don't remember seeing Quincy's character Prince in the episode, y'all, but I also watched this episode as soon as I got in. I'm currently in Utah for the Sundance Film Festival, so my coverage might be a little bit delayed because I'm also watching films and doing red carpets here, but I don't remember seeing Quincy's character, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for Marquis, but I will say that in this first episode, I'm really surprised. When we were introduced to him last season in the family business, he seemed more of a boss. And I'm not saying that he's not a boss, but with Shirley here, you get to see who is actually the boss in these parts, right? And so much so that she's like, when things don't pan out, when her and was it Monique that she was at the, I think she was at the, no, I think it might have been Antoinette. She goes to the spa and she overhears Jean Leblanc's sister, yes, Marie, and her daughter, played by dang, what's that girl's name? The football player's ex-girlfriend. Can't remember her name right now, y'all. And I should be pulling up IMDb, but I didn't. Anyway, Shirley overhears the Leblanc women, talking about how Jean-Luc is going to get to the bottom of this. He put $100,000 out for anybody that got information on what happened to his brother. So this, you know, is all a part of the other little spiderwebs, kind of like the voodoo priestess, like something is coming. Monique is very anxious because this is Pierre Leblanc and she knows it's going to be, you know, a mess. And Floyd helps get the body off of the property, but Marquis is the one who goes and parlays with Sheriff Clay and doesn't let Floyd actually come because Floyd doesn't like the sheriff. And while they agreed to pay her $50,000 so that they can push the story, it's just not really going to hold water. And Shirley kind of knows that, which is interesting. She is very headstrong. I love Lela Rochon in this role already. By the end of the episode, she is pushing or forcing Marquis to go to Houston, basically to go into hiding, because he will be the first line of defense / attack that Jean Leblanc is going to go for. And we got to see that example played out in the, you know, in the little speakeasy juke joint owner, right? They killed his son right in front of him because they wanted him to sign over the damn deed. So once they come for the Duncans, they're going to come for the next Duncan in charge, who's going to be leading up Midnight Blues, which is her casino, who's going to be ultimately the lead of the organization once she decides to step back or step away. And they're going to try to make her pay. So she tries to send him off to Houston at the end of the episode because she knows that a storm is coming and this is going to be the plan. Even though it kind of also gives the plan to send Marquis away and then play dumb, which doesn't feel like a strong enough plan. But that is what happens, except for the fact that Marquis derails the plane and ends up in New York, even though he spent most of the episode trying to beg Shirley to go to LC and ask for help, and she wouldn't. And he's just like, I'm gonna go rogue, I'm gonna call it audible. He ends up in New York. He goes and sits and talks to Vegas and says everything that's going on, which is what launches us into this episode, which is what brings in Curtis, which what brings in Lauryn, and ultimately I believe it's going to also tie in Larry and Nene as well, but I don't remember seeing them. Going back over to the LeBlancs. On the LeBlanc side, there is, of course, Jean Leblanc, played by David Banner, and I'm actually enjoying him really in this role a lot. His first in command is Saint, which is this little ruthless good that seems like he seems interesting. I'm gonna just leave it at that because I didn't watch the second episode, and I think the second episode is gonna give me a whole lot more context. Anything else that I missed from the first episode? Marquis gets hoes. When we first meet him, when the episode opens, he's smashing some chick that's married, and Shirley got to come and tell him about the body popping up, and she also got to tell him, like, you don't be sleeping with this married ass woman, and basically threaten this girl's life. Like, yeah, that's what we dealing with. It's very much so giving family business. Now, one thing I will say is that I don't like the theme song, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I don't like the theme song. Maybe it's going to grow on me, but it's not giving what the family business theme song gives. It's not giving what the Black Hamptons theme song gives. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a fan. All right, anyway, those are all of my thoughts around the first episode. Let me know if I missed anything so we can keep this conversation going. Be on the lookout for my episode 2 breakdown, as well as some breakdowns for each character, because I'm going to do a deep dive into each character, each of the main characters. One, so that I am fully familiar and able to speak from a informed place, but then 2, so that y'all can know exactly what we're dealing with, and we can get the full scope of what we can expect this season with the family business New Orleans. It's your good sis, Let's Talk TV with, and I'm seeing the next one.